Welcome, Caesar's Lost Things, to Erimos, the Worlds of Sands, our bi-weekly Dungeons & Dragons campaign here on the Utterkhaos channel, set in a dystopian world where the weave of magic has fallen apart and mysteries are always afoot. I'm your Dungeon Master for the evening. My name's Rob. Joining me, I have several players, so I'm just going to go down the list that I have here, make my list. Envarl.
That would be me.
Who just woke up from some sort of contraption containing her and her soul and her body.
Very unpleasant nap.
Brandty.
Hello.
Beriss.
That would be me.
Johnboi.
Hello.
Tristero.
Hello.
And last, but certainly not least, Marion, the librarian barbarian. Who is sitting right behind me.
You add in the camel portion, I'm carrying 9 water skins.
Anyway. So, when last we left our wayfarers into the unknown, in the city of Coughlin, we had a very unusual elven man make himself known as the Changing One. He offered water, which is a very precious commodity in this world, to those willing to take up a cause of simple labor for a period of time. He freely gave out the water to Johnboi, who disclosed some information to the Changing One about a local shop owner. Tristero and Johnboi followed a man through the alleyways of the city to find the man walking up from an underground cellar in the particular scriptorium that's located in Coughlin. Unfortunately, they went down into a lower cellar and found the shopkeeper Joffrey slain. Tristero and Johnboi made a run for it. Meanwhile, in the gnomish experimental laboratory and library of Vormenon, Beriss, Marion, and Brandty battled their way through several Thry-Kreen unwanted guests, who managed to barge their way through the security door. Brandty found that the sphere given to her by Geralt appears to be some sort of device associated to this place. The device told her that people of her family name reside in a place called Terkanon. After battling and almost losing Brandty, Beriss and Marion vanquished the clockwork reliquary holding Envarl. Envarl healed Brandty back from the brink of death. And today, we begin this session in the city of Coughlin. Tristero and Johnboi were awakened in the night to view the March of Final Ends, a procession of ghostly figures as the ethereal plane and the material plane crossed over. Johnboi found himself face to face with his father, Sloane. Sloane is a Najani, decked from head to toe in plumed colored feathers, though the coloration of these feathers is hard to distinguish because of the ethereal nature of his form. Sloane is very stoutly built, very strong looking, and carries an air of chieftain. He looks down at Johnboi. My son, I don't have much time like the other people here. Why did you run from home?
Well, I have important business in the city. I felt that it was best to just go about it that way and not bother the rest of the family.
Is that technically a lie? Do you need to roll just?
Technically, not really. I would say that he's actually there for that actual purpose.
Okay.
But I can if you'd like.
My son, there's still a way for redemption. The ancestors, they told me of your fears. You have to overcome them.
Fears are so good, though. They tend to make others do silly things, and I like silly things.
He puts a hand on your shoulder, and you can feel this sort of like ghostly cold seep into your scales a little bit. And he says, "But you were meant for so much more than this, my son."
It's what they tell me, but honestly, yeah, we'll see.
Now is your time to... Sloane looks around. He's here. I have to go, my son.
Wait,
Straighten your scales.
who's
Be the Ajani you were meant to be. You are the last of our name now. And with that, Sloane smiles warmly and reaches out for your shoulder with his other hand. And then suddenly cries out in some sort of pain. His form starts to melt backward. A look of absolute horror streaks across his face. His very essence is drawn suddenly away from you, as if he's being pulled. And he's pulled off the ground and up over a rooftop off into the distance. And you hear a faint shout, "No!" Tristero,
Yes.
you are looking from the top of your room window, and you see all of this transpire. From your vantage point, you can see on the street side opposite, there is a man holding out some sort of object, and it seems to be pulling Sloane toward. What do you do?
I go down to the street, follow Johnboi, and try to get his attention.
Johnboi, what's your passive perception?
I have very sharp eyes. What with a 16?
You see Tristero come down the stairs, and he seems to be in a bit of a rush. He's
Hey,
looking
What's the
down.
matter?
Go ahead, sorry.
I was just asking what the matter was.
Tristero. Johnboi asked you what the
He asked me what now?
What was
One
the
more
matter?
time.
You seem so busy. What's the rush?
You look like you're not quite yourself. I would ask you the same thing. Where is it that you're heading at this late hour?
Yeah, I was heading to bed.
You're
Johnboi, you hear the voice of your father call out in pain.
Hey, excuse me. I have a little bit of business to attend to. It sounds as though something is the matter. I will run.
I'll take
Okay.
off after him.
You head down the dark city streets, and you can hear off in the distance the loud sounds of your father Sloane screaming. As you round one of the corners, you both clearly see the man you saw before that walked up from the cellar. He's holding out in his hand a small blue gem. And it is that, at that moment, you see, off in the distance, approximately 140 feet, Sloane's form sucked into that gem. He reaches out for you with his final words, but they're stifled. His fingers clawing and grasping toward you. And with that, Tenris takes a giant drag off his pipe and blows the smoke out at you from way away, from a long ways away. Oi, you ever wonder how much these Ajani souls are worth? Especially the old ones. And he starts walking away. He takes a right down a hallway.
Other than seeing him before in the what do you call it?
In the scriptorium?
Yeah. Have I seen him anywhere else? This guy, or is he just like, I don't know? I'm trying to get a connection.
You have not.
Okay. I am going to very cowardly slink shadows and ignore his presence, despite his incredibly horrible thing.
You're going to what? I'm sorry.
I'm just going to ignore what he just did and kind of hide in the shadows.
Okay. Tristero, what are you doing?
Standing next to Johnboi, I just look at him, arch an eyebrow, and say, "Really?"
Yeah, I never really liked my father anyway. He was kind of one of those guys, you know. Lizard like, he ate most of our family, so
Well, far be it for me to get involved in something that concerns me not at all.
that's the spirit.
Okay. Is that it?
Yep.
Okay.
You know, Rob.
And we will go back to Vormenon then. And then we will head back to Coughlin after. All right, so back at the temple in Vormenon, you all look at each other happily to see the face of the gnome Brandty to be breathing once again. She reaches out her trembling fingers to grab Vorm, her aptly named little consort in crime, her mechanical orb, and Varl stands above her looking down.
Are you well now, my child?
What happened?
The mechanical beast. It seemed to attack you.
Yeah, I remember that part. Who are you?
Oh, pardon me. My name is Anvriel, the Shield of Dawn. I'm gonna, get on my knee, bow to everyone with one hand across my chest.
Beriss bows his head, his tail going level with his body as he does it. I am Beriss, son of Betex, chieftain in trial.
Marion, the displaced librarian barbarian, and he nods but does not bow. Thank you for healing my friend.
Of course. You have all saved my life, and as such, I am forever within your debt.
Now, Shane, have I ever seen one of his race?
Me?
No, Shane. Sorry, Rob. Wow.
Go ahead. Roll me knowledge religion.
Oh, this is gonna go smashingly well.
Smashing.
Yes.
Activist news.
Ah, I'm actually trained in religion.
Stop it.
Apparently not that well trained. I didn't read books good.
The best that you can gather is she's probably, she seems kind of human, but with wings. And glowy stuff.
Good to know.
What color is she glowing?
Shane?
It's a changing aura between red to orange to yellow and then back to red.
Would it help if Shane described his character a little bit again?
That'd be wonderful.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, Shane.
Anvril has the form of a strong, noble, angelic woman. Her most striking features are her passionate red eyes that almost glow but don't actually glow, and her fiery red hair that seems to move as if it's flame itself. Another noticeable feature is her beautiful white wings. Behind her are bound by black and red chains that seem to crackle and sparkle with magic as she moves.
Beerus has no idea how to handle you.
Would you call yourself demonic or angelic?
I am angelic, as I come from the Boros Legion. I am an angel, you see, and I rise.
In all my years, I have never seen one like you. Do many of your kind come with wings?
All of us do, yes.
Interesting.
Well, it is very fortuitous for us to run into a friendly user of the clerical magics, rather than an arcane one.
When you said the word magic, Beerus goes, wait, that was magic? I do not see no backlash.
As a divine being, I channel the divine magics through myself. That is how I healed your friend, though I cannot do it very often.
Rob, can Beerus do a check to see if he knows that divine magic is different in Erimos than arcane magic? Or does he have no idea?
You can go ahead and make a check, sure.
Alright, with my +0 arcana check, let's do this.
You know that both arcane magic and divine magic are both spellcasting and both pull from the weave of magic itself. Doesn't matter if it's having faith in a god or having faith in a book. They both pull the weave.
Beerus...
So this must be some kind of something else.
Alright, Beerus growls a little bit. Be careful with the magic. The weave is not powerful here.
I tilt my head in confusion. Come again. Are we not in Erimos, bountiful land of magic and fields of green?
Beerus laughs. I do not ever remember seeing green in great quantity here. It is a world of sand and torture. Everything is death in Erimos.
I think you might be off by a few millennia.
How long was I asleep then? It seemed like only moments, maybe weeks.
Beriss, are there any myths of a time of green?
If I remember it was the first age, right, Rob?
So it was up until the 4th and 5th age. It
And we are
was
in
mostly.
the 7th.
We are in the 10th age.
All right, so about Beerus cackles a little bit. That was 5 ages ago, at least.
Then the disaster. I wasn't here to stop it. Of course. I put my head down.
I do not know what you speak directly. These are the words of my ancestors' ancestors. We could see the records when we... He looks around. In this library, most likely. We should not stay here too much longer.
Then I shall go with you where you go. I am indebted to you all, so I shall stay with you until I am relieved of my burden.
I'd be happy for the company, but I would not want to speak for my associates.
I will not turn down the aid of one who has helped us. But we must be careful of using magic. The world is different, as you will see. And magic is no longer plentiful.
I see. I shall try to contain myself then. I am just as good with a lance as I am with a spell.
Beerus smiles at that. It is good to see you have the martial talents. Marion,
I am a former war leader after all.
good to hear. Marion, do you wish to lead the way?
First, I would like to stop for a short rest and recover from some of the damage inflicted by that construct. I want to spend some hit die.
I'm good to rest for an hour. I only got 1 hit die to spend, though.
You didn't take any damage.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just letting you know I only have 1 left.
So, it's a good thing you didn't take any damage. Brandty, do you also require some rest and recovery?
That would be wonderful.
So, Rob, can we take a short rest?
Absolutely.
Beerus will rest for 10 minutes, then he'll kind of play guard for the rest of the party. Mechanics-wise, I get all my key points back after a 10-minute rest.
Okay, one of those wasn't shit.
As we're sitting here, Beerus is just looking at Anvario. So, do you glow, or is it the equipment?
It is my divine presence upon your earthly realm.
Are the divine like the elements?
In a way, yes.
Interesting.
Only instead of sputtering out like a flicker of a flame, we burn far, far brighter.
Did you guys spend all the hit dice you wanted to?
Yeah, I'm at full health. I'm good.
Brandty, you might want to spend some. There's a button below your current hit points on your character sheet that lets you just spend some hit dice and roll.
I thought I just did that.
Yeah, she did.
I'm glad to see that your people have evolved since my time. You far
Racist.
resemble the Bashino of my realm.
Interesting. The Ajani
Yes,
are an
if-
old race, to my knowledge.
I believe in my time they were hunted for sport. I think it was called lizard baiting.
That seems
I
like
was
that's
unfamiliar with the custom, so I did not participate.
Beerus looks a little confused, but smiles. That is survival on Erimos now. It is good to see that we are now stronger than we were. And we will continue
Oh
to
yes,
grow.
I'm quite impressed.
Brandy's going to get up and stand by Marion.
You will need
Oh, okay.
to tell me more about my ancestors. It will enlighten my people to hear about how we used to be.
Well, talking is definitely a new thing.
He looks a little shocked at that. We could not speak?
No. I think the one words I could understand from one was and I did not understand what it meant. Though I skewered it shortly after as it was a beast gone mad, so
Sounds like Agent Ajani. I do not wish to worry about that.
I am very fascinated to see how your civilization has grown.
Perception check.
Yay!
That's a nice wall.
Beerus, you hear something coming from down this hallway.
Prepare yourself. Something is coming. Beerus then will run, if possible, over here and duck up against the wall.
Okay.
I go and stand out in the open.
Okay.
He looks at you. That is not what we are supposed to be doing.
If the enemy comes, they'll head straight for me. Use that to your advantage. I hold up my shield.
Okay. You have control.
What's up?
I don't have a
I
token.
haven't seen Lily.
You should. You're the character right there.
Meh.
Oh, okay.
You blend in well.
I'm not yelling at her right now.
I didn't know that was
Go
me.
ahead.
I didn't use your character portrait because it was a little busy. We can go back and use your character token later if you'd like.
It's cool, man.
You skipping?
So yeah, I'm just like standing here holding my shield
What?
up.
Please stop jumping around, okay? Are you hungry at all?
Okay. Do you have dark vision or anything like that?
Yes, I do.
Johnboi, do you have dark vision?
What do you want to eat, baby?
Yes, I do.
I'm sorry, not Johnboi.
Oh, no, I don't.
Beerus.
I don't believe Ajani have dark vision.
Chips or something?
What does a 19 get me?
The same thing as the others. You hear something coming from the room down there.
Please stop.
Lily.
And I do have like all the dark vision.
Okay, but stop running back and forth.
Okay. So as you cross into the room, by the room, you see the.
So I'd like to ready an action.
You can't ready an action until we enter into combat, which we're going to do right now. Don't forget to click on it.
Everyone, there are more of the bug bastards coming. Jesus Christ.
I have to take the first one.
Here, honey.
All right, so we start at the top.
Brandty looks visibly nervous.
Let's go, Bugman.
With the disgusting chattering and unusual noises, the Thri-Kreen chosen unleashes hell with a sword and 2 claws.
Oh no.
Marion, what's your AC?
It is 16.
So that's 22 points of damage.
Ow. That's exactly what I gained through all those hit die.
Oh,
Exactly.
And that's his turn. Beriss?
All right. Beriss, is there what bonuses are there for flanking in your game?
If you're directly flanking on the other side of the opponent, I will give you advantage,
Music to my ears.
depending on circumstance. So, like, you're not going to get advantage on ooze.
Well, obviously. They have no discernible anatomy. Beriss rushes forward, running close low to the ground, grabs his katana at his side, and goes in for 2 strikes with his extra attack. Those hit.
They do. Both.
Alright.
Yikes.
Because I hit him with a melee attack, my AC goes up to a 18.
I thought it went up to 20.
Nope, you're right. Yep, up to 20 for now.
Wow. Fancy. Is that it, sir?
No, sir. Bonus action, monk unarmed strike, burning a key point for stunning strike. Nope. Wait, advantage. Ha!
True. You hit.
Only 5 points of actual damage. but he now has to make a Constitution saving throw.
And he rolls a 1.
He is stunned and cannot perform an action next turn.
I'm going to give you 2 turns on that because he failed
Well, somebody
epically.
So as Beriss rushes in, he slashes twice with his sword, and then literally tail swipes the thing across the face. And since Beriss is a leopard gecko lizard man, my tail is big and beefy.
Giggity.
That's my turn.
Okay. And Varl.
I'm gonna move up and hit him with my lance. He's paralyzed, correct?
Correct.
Sweet.
He's actually just stunned, unfortunately.
Oh. He's just stunned?
Yeah, stun doesn't give him the paralyzed status effect, so you don't get advantage on him.
Yeah. Oh well.
I have a 12.
You have advantage though, right?
If you give me advantage, then yeah.
Wait, a stunned creature, you do get advantage against creatures that have stun. They automatically fail any strength and dexterity save. A stunned creature cannot move or speak. And are incapacitated.
Okay, so you hit.
Alright. I'm gonna smite.
Yeah, you are.
Hallie coming in for the strike.
So as I go to hit, my lance becomes surrounded by radiant fire as I stab into him.
That fire erupts. He's still stunned.
And that's my turn.
Okay. And that's a miss.
Suck it.
Brandty.
All right. Brandy's going to cast Acid Spell.
Okay.
What?
That won't hit us.
Within 5 feet.
No, she doesn't have to choose 2 creatures.
Oh, cool. But also magic.
Yeah, but it's the first spell she's casting.
I'm sure it's fine.
Ugh. Well, okay.
Okay, so I have to make a dexterity save.
Yes.
I think you saved.
I make it.
All right.
Damn flighty bugs.
Wait, isn't he stunned?
Oh, you're right. He is.
Oh,
He doesn't do
sick.
anything, so he takes the 1d6 acid damage. Go ahead and roll it.
Or it would be 2d6 because.
It would be 2d6 because you're level 5.
Cool.
Okay.
Nice.
Marion.
Well, I think we should just reckless attack this very rude person. Oh wait, no, sorry. I'm gonna retcon that because I automatically get advantage because he's stunned. So I don't need to be an idiot.
best monk ability ever.
17 hits.
It does.
And how does he like 17 bludgeoning damage?
He's looking real hurt.
Nice.
And I'm assuming a 23 hits, because
That's correct.
best monk ability ever. And another 7. Not as much.
He's looking real hurt.
And that's what I got.
Okay. So let me just double check the stun condition here. Doesn't say I can't attack.
It says he can't. It says he's incapacitated. If you look at the incapacitated condition, it says can't take any actions or reactions.
Okay, perfect. So he can't do anything. Beriss.
Beriss is actually going to move over here because he's confident that these two can handle that guy now.
Yeah, he's got to skip his next turn anyway. Because he failed that hard.
Hit on the first one.
Burning the key point for the stunning strike. And then burning a key point for Flurry of Blows, my unarmed strike. Alright, so I'm going to assume the 26 hits. How about the 16?
The 16 does hit.
Alright, and he has to make a con save, sir. The one at the bottom. Damn!
A lot of damage, though.
It is. Oh, well. I have 2 more key points left, by the way, just to keep that way if you're keeping track. And that will be Beerus' turn as he jumps forward, seeing that his teammates can handle the other one, and slashes up the one coming down the hallway.
Okay. Envaro.
I will stab him with my lance. Is he still stunned?
Yes, he is.
11.
No.
Alright. That's gonna be my turn then.
Okay. So he comes... This guy, multi-attack. Against Beriss.
The top one hits.
For 5.
Beerus stumbles backwards and hisses at it as he strikes him.
He crouches low and makes his own guttural noises back at you. Brandty?
Okay. Brandy's still going to be aiming for the first enemy.
Sure.
She's going to use her light crossbow this time.
Okay. That unfortunately does not hit.
Boo.
Anything else? You gonna move?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Marion.
I'm gonna hit the dude. Seemed to work pretty well last time. Hi there.
That is a hit.
Nice.
Oh, he's very dead. How does it look?
Ooh.
Oh, his chitinous head splits open like an overripe mango being thrown against a
Oh.
brick wall. Now, can I move into Beriss' space, attack the other guy, and then move back? Presuming I do take the attack of opportunity.
No, because you cannot end your movement inside somebody else's square.
Okay, so I can't. I could only move through and have a place to stop and then hit him.
That's correct.
Okay. Then I'm gonna try shooting my light crossbow.
Okay.
Nope.
That does not hit.
That'll be it then.
Beriss.
Alright. Let's see here. Beriss is gonna pull out his katana again, go for 2 strikes.
The second one definitely hits.
Alright, I'll activate my stunning strike with that one.
Okay. You're down to 1 key point.
Down to 1 key point. And he makes a con save. That's a failure.
Mm-hmm.
And since he's failed, I'll spend the other key point and go in for the unarmed strikes. And since he gets no reactions, I'm just going to move out of the way for my good friends to get in there. Beriss
By which you mean you're gonna let me be a meat shield again?
Quite possibly.
And Varl.
My lance has 5 foot additional reach, so I'm gonna hit him from here.
Okay.
I just want to make it known, guys, that our formation now is ridiculous.
23.
Yeah.
6 piercing.
All right. That it?
Yes. Yeah, that was it.
Okay. So you're directly in front of him, is that right?
Is he not stunned?
He is, but he's right here.
Yeah,
Right,
I'm under
okay.
the...
All right, I'm
on
just
top
trying
of
to
the
figure
body.
out where the tokens were.
Yeah, it hit underneath your bug token.
Yeah, I'm under the bug.
Yeah, he's dead anyway. Let's get him out of there. Brandty, your turn.
All right, Brandy's going to move a little bit out of that corner. And not make the whole map move. Yeah, that would be great. And she's going to try again with her. Does a 14 hit?
No, it does not.
Rob, are you eating?
I brought cheese.
I can't deny the man cheese.
No, that's fair.
It's like good, soft on cracker cheese.
Anything else?
No.
Marion.
Chewing, one sec. Okay. So, since he's stunned, would the rules be that I could move in, hit him, and move back without receiving an attack of opportunity? Or because his turn passed, that's no longer in effect?
It goes off of Beriss' turn, I believe.
Fantastic. That didn't work.
Marion, you pitch your warhammer behind him.
I thought we got advantage.
Oh, that's true. Never mind, you don't.
It's still a 2.
It's still a 2, and you should feel bad.
I definitely do. But I think the 16 hit.
It does hit.
Okay, first creature I hit, not first attack. Sweet. Any visible effect?
Well, you didn't roll your damage for the warhammer. There you go. And Marion, how?
So he done?
Oh, he did.
We'll go simple. Warhammer looks like it only just barely glanced off his chitinous face, but it's like the perfect hook. You never even feel it hit, but they're down for the count. In this case, a fully disconnected head.
And we will go out of initiative order.
Beriss wipes the blood from his blade.
A glorious victory.
Brandty hustles over to Marion.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing. But clearly seeming disturbed. But she's going to brush past you and walk into this room after she does. She's going to do a check.
She's going to do a what?
Perception check. Just in
Go ahead.
case.
Seems fine.
Oh.
She doesn't. She just goes to the entrance into the room. She doesn't pass through there.
Okay. What you see before you is a very large room. This room is unlike the others and contains no cobwebs. Across from you, on the far side of the room, are numerous workbenches with hundreds of different machinations and notes strewn all about various workshop desks. These workshop desks would be perfect in height for Brandty, but for anyone else they would seem rather small. Numerous pipes feed different colored glowing liquids into a central glass square container. The container glows a warm purple hue. Numerous notes and devices seem to be gathered around that one area.
Brandty's going to gasp gleefully and tentatively go inspect it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for it. And then we will head back over to Coughlin after this.
Oh shit, son.
What?
Brandty.
Yes.
Moving over to the area of the workbenches, you start looking at the notes. You start looking at the different colored liquids. The notes are all written in Gnomish, so it's not very hard for you to understand. As you start picking out pieces of what's going on, you realize that this is some form of old Gnomish text. You very quickly realize that the tubes that lead into this container, this large, elongated glass container in front of you, one of the pipes that leads there, according to the diagram, is for mana.
Ooh. Are we going to continue this scene?
I'll let you guys think over what you want to do.
Okay.
So we will go back to Coughlin. Tristero and Johnboi. You all return. You both return to your free stay at the Blade and Barrel Inn. It was night that woke you up after all. You finish out your night relatively peacefully. And you wake up in the morning. What do you do?
Johnboi will head down to the tavern hall and see if Tristero is awake and there. He's had time to think over the night. Wanted to chat with him briefly.
Tristero, you come down the stairs from the inn and see you see Johnboi.
I walk up next to Johnboi and Johnboi, remember that token that the changing one gave you? Might I see it?
Yes. What do you want with it?
I've been thinking overnight. Is there perchance a blue gem as part of that bracelet?
Yeah, I suppose. I've never really looked that closely at it.
Well, let's take a look.
There is indeed a blue gem in the center of it. Seems to be some sort of non-valuable kind of crystal. Not really like a gemstone, but a crystal of some sort.
Does it look anything like the crystal that I saw last night?
Make an intelligence check. Jesus, Johnboi.
I wasn't really paying attention.
Tristero, it looks remarkably similar, but definitely not exactly the same. The piece of crystal looks very, very similar, but the mechanism surrounding the crystal is very different. His appeared to be something that moved. It was made of some sort of metal that was moving back and forth.
I shrug at Johnboi, and you know that crystal in your bracelet bears more than a passing resemblance to what we saw last night. If I were you, and I'm not you, but if I were you, I would probably remove that from your arm and toss it somewhere. Just a thought.
It would seem I might have to admit a few important details to you that I've been hiding. You see, I am not what I appear to be. I am a little bit more than your average rogue. Sometimes I have a little bit of, shall we say, magic in my own. But more to the point, the reason I didn't want to pursue my so-called father's killer yesterday, or capturer, however you want to call him, he wasn't really my father. My family died a long time ago. I was adopted by that chieftain. He was not very kindly to me, and frankly, I don't really care for him very much. He always belittled me because of my magic and told me it was a waste of time. So I spent my time here instead, doing odd jobs, making use of it where I could. More to the point, if I indeed do have what you think I have, that is more valuable to us than you might think. We may be able to barter with it for very important things.
It's your soul. I'm just trying to be helpful.
And I appreciate it. Perhaps we can do something more meaningful with it. Do you know anybody who might be able to do something better with it? I'm not sure that the one who we were meeting yesterday was really had our best interests in mind. After everything that just happened, water or not.
I'm new here. I know nobody. Although it occurs to me that the message we carried for Joffrey, what was the name of that flamboyant, flashy half-orc that you managed to piss off?
That's an excellent question. I honestly don't remember.
Johnboi, you do not remember.
I don't remember either. Perhaps it would be worth trying to recover her good graces if she was indeed a friend of Joffrey's.
Your point is well made. I suppose that would be wise. What do you propose?
Just as you did with the changing one, you might offer her information. Namely, that the sender of the message was killed, probably at the behest of the changing one, and see what develops from there.
I suppose your ploy is a good one. Yes, let us do this. I think you are wise.
And this time, no commentary about smells, if you please.
Well, in fairness, you have to admit it was rather stinky. But fine, if you feel that would be best, I'm willing to adhere to that.
Just one word for you. Tact.
What is that? Is something I can eat?
Simply put, it's the art and science of interacting with other sentient beings without pissing them off.
I like that sound of this. It sounds entertaining. Very well, that seems like a good challenge to try for.
So you all are going to the armory?
Yes.
Oh, so, yeah.
Okay. As you all walk down the city streets, you notice that the day is bustling. It's about noon when you all get headed out, and the heat is extremely hot today. It almost seems to burn the feet of Tristero. You're not quite used to this sort of thing yet. At noon, it's very, very hot. And usually, people you notice are more than often indoors. As you continue down the street, I want you both to make perception checks. Okay. Hold on just 1 second. We're going to take you to a different map. As you're walking down the street, the local street vendors seem to be selling their wares. And as you walk, it's a few seconds before you realize that all of the local street vendors have left. All of the local villagers have shut their windows. And suddenly, the only people left on the street turn and look at you.
I whisper to Johnboi, I don't like the looks of this.
I think we might have missed something, and I don't like that.
Be ready. I, as nonchalantly as possible, knock a bolt into my hand crossbow, kind of keeping it under my robes, ready to pull out if the need arises.
Okay. The gentleman here on the right walks. Of course, I picked the sand-colored thing for my character. Whatever. I'm not changing. This gentleman right here. You
you looking for? Bad section of town.
I believe we were looking to walk through, unless you seem to think that that's a problem.
What is your passive perception?
16.
16?
Yep.
Johnboi, you notice from behind you, out of one of the trees, another gentleman steps out. There's a toll for this road.
Oh, well, look at me. I've forgotten all of my money at home. What a shame.
You know how many times I've heard that one?
3?
Quite a bit more.
5?
Who's this fancy dress guy you're with? Gotta be an off-worlder. You know, off-worlders come with a pretty penny.
Oh, don't worry about him. He's just this guy.
No, I think I will worry about him. I think I'll worry about him a lot.
Oh, there's no need to worry about me. You're
Yeah,
correct.
he's really just a small
I am
town.
an off-worlder, but as far as having a pretty penny, you're sadly mistaken. I have the clothes I'm wearing, and that's all.
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion. Right. Well, if you've got no coin, then we'll be taking those water skins.
Oh, those aren't filled with water. They're filled with poison.
Liar. Roll it.
Poison is still valuable.
You wouldn't want to take poison from a poor old little boy trying to get it home for his father.
The fuck?
So,
Starting to question about how your father actually died.
so, two of the people standing around you shrug their shoulders. Two look really quizzically at you, and two nod in agreement. Oh yeah, totally.
So you see, you really should just let us go. I mean, honestly, we have no money, and all I have is this poison.
The guy still on the right goes, yeah, but you're one of those Ajani. You know, the guys that got the elemental in their chest, aren't you?
Elemental is such a strong word. I mean, it's really more of like a shiny scale. Common misconception.
Nah, I don't think so. Get him. Roll initiatives, please. Make sure you click on your character before you roll. Okay. My turn first. Three of the henchmen simultaneously pull out these long cylindrical metal tubes, and they put inside each one of them a small metal dart with a tuft of what looks to be some sort of feather at the end. It's an attack at you, Tristira. Need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Wow, did I do that wrong? Sweet. Okay, you're fine. Next one's coming at you, Johnboi. Does that break your AC?
Does he have advantage?
He does not.
Then no.
And the last one is at John. And that's me. Johnboi, it's your turn.
The one who just shot at me, which one is he? And the other one? And the one that shot at Tristerio. Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, crap. So I missed with my dagger. Oh,
Okay.
God. Good Lord. Clearly, Johnboi is distracted by all of the darts flying everywhere.
Those are some poor rolls, sir.
Dice gods are
It's
angry.
okay to- I was cut off because I am much heavier than the futon I'm sitting on, and I left to the center of gravity.
All right. This henchman takes a shot at Johnboi with a. Jesus. Okay, this is going to be the combat of nobody hitting anybody.
The low roll combat.
Yeah.
If
Tristero, your turn, sir.
Is that showing up on your map?
Is what's showing up on my map.
Click and hold.
Okay. I am going to shoot a crossbow at that guy right there.
Okay. You unfortunately do not hit, sir.
Wow.
Wow. As a bonus action, I will give Johnboi Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
A little bit.
Johnboi, you suddenly feel inspired.
You've got this, Johnboi. I mean, Jesus Christ. They're using blowguns. How tough can they be?
this is true, we should stab them verily.
Can you put the rest there? Put the rest back now? Hey, no, put the rest back. Yeah.
This is toward Johnboi.
Go ahead.
I believe that hits, sir. Roll me a Constitution saving throw, please, sir.
I will be having the damage, by the way. And otherwise-
Okay.
Balls.
You are paralyzed for 1d4 rounds.
Shit, son.
For 4 rounds. A blowgun dart hits Johnboi in the neck, and he suddenly falls to the ground limp in front of you. All of his muscles and arms tense up, and he clutches close to his chest, and he starts convulsing at the spine, unable to move.
Shit.
Blowgun at you, Tristero. I believe that misses.
My AC is 14.
Okay. This one runs up. Come on, put him on the back. Let's get him out of here. This one attempts to make an athletics check to carry him away. He successfully hoists Johnboi off of the floor. This henchman comes up behind you first. He misses you with his blowgun.
I don't think you were supposed to win this one.
No, they got this.
I'm rooting for the tree.
I'm intrigued at how the tree's there with no water. It's fed the blood of its enemies.
Or are these guys victims?
Is that what they're going to use Johnboi for?
Tristero, it's your turn, sir.
I am going to cast Sleep, targeting, I don't know how many hit dice it's going to affect, but the 3 to my left, including the one that's carrying Johnboi.
Quick note, Tristero, how did you get a 40 for initiative?
There's some weird glitch wherever his initiative comes up and keeps coming up, it counts his number again. He already was first in the initiative order anyway, so it's not that big a deal.
Just curious.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out myself, and it wasn't until we came back to it again that I realized that it's counting the exact... Okay, so you roll 5d8, the total of how many hit dice and creatures within 20 feet of your range. Yeah, that's perfectly viable.
Daddy, she's eating berries. Did she ask you?
We're supposed to take one of each.
I did. Okay. I didn't know. That's what they asked.
Yeah, they're for my salad. Because I realized I have a bottle of that poppy seed dressing.
I'm just reading the spell, gentlemen. Talk amongst yourselves for a second.
Alright, so the sleep spell. Here's the details of it. Let's go into this step by step in the amazing process of Dungeons and Dragons.
Jesus Christ, I hate you.
I'm already asleep.
I'm gonna go listen to Hall of the Mountain King. Let me know when I'm involved again.
Alright, so mechanics wise,
Okay.
how sleep works is it targets all the creatures around him. It starts with the creature with the lowest HP, and it checks off how much HP he rolled here, so we're looking at least 70. So it'll knock out anybody who has 70 minus that HP from that creature's HP from that 70. Then it'll go towards the next creature, so on and so forth.
Yeah. Alrighty.
It's honestly, I hate to say it, but as a player and as a GM, it's nowhere near as good as it used to be.
So conveniently, those two gentlemen fall asleep.
That's the first time I've actually seen sleep do anything, ever.
I know, right?
I'll take it.
Listen, they can knock people out. You guys can knock people out too.
Blow gun at Tristero. Oh, God.
Please tell me he inhaled the fucking dart.
He makes his own save.
But
And fails.
we're on stream right now. We're talking. People are watching us play Dungeons and Dragons.
He successfully paralyzes himself because he drops the needle into his own hand.
This is why you don't do drugs.
Rob,
kids.
can we say that he went to go blow out the dart, but he inhaled?
No, I don't want him to be that incompetent. It's bad enough as it is.
He shot it into his own foot.
All right.
That's incompetent Steve. Yeah.
This henchman is going to run up and try to pick up John. And succeeds.
These some strong boys.
Asleep. Asleep. Wow, they can't hit the broadside of a barnyard. They couldn't hit the ground with a rock.
The only guy can hit himself.
Jesus. All right, hooray. This guy takes off.
Coward!
Tristero,
Well, it worked so well the first time. Let's cast it again.
Oh, good.
I just want to let you know, Tristero, that Hall of the Mountain King makes everything you do way more dramatic.
All right, so go ahead and roll your 5d8, sir. Jesus.
Not as much as the 70 last time, but still a good roll.
Yeah, exactly.
48?
Yeah, that puts this guy. So now this guy is paralyzed and asleep.
Nappy time.
Hate to be a dick about it, but the other guy actually has more hit points. That henchman can't do anything. Johnboi, this is your third turn of paralysis. I'm going to roll to see if this guy runs away.
So, Tristero, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Are you playing like an instrument?
I am not.
How are you casting your spells then?
Oh, we've had this discussion. So Tristero is a bard, like a drill instructor, which is why his bardic inspiration was like, "They're just fucking blowguns."
I
I'm
like
fired
it.
already.
Just stares at him. Go to fuck to sleep!
Yeah, he just knife hands out into the distance. Sleep, you dandy fucks!
He's Arlie Ermy in the desert. Now listen here, you maggot-ass fucker.
Okay, this guy...
Not worth it. Peace out.
I ain't paid enough for this shit.
Tristero.
How did his initiative go up more?
Every time it comes to his character, it just goes up. I'm not sure what's going on. There's some really
alright.
strange...
I'll explain it to you after the game.
Okay.
There's a setting that's turned on for his thing.
So I guess enough of the magic, and I'm going to...
Oh, that reminds me. Can you roll a 1d100 for me?
Me?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you can click on the little die, or... Actually, I'll do it for you. Never mind. It'll just be... Okay.
So enough of the spell slinging. I pull out my dagger and lunge for the only one that's still standing.
Tristero, what would you say is your most valuable possession on your character?
Probably that item I acquired last session that nobody knows about but me.
Okay, good.
Mystery. What?
I assume that hit.
Who are you attacking with it? The guy trying to carry away Johnboi?
Yeah, the only one that's still standing.
Okay, yep. You just have to move up into base contact.
Like that?
Yep, you hit. Go ahead and roll damage, sir. Okay. You stab him right underneath the arm, and he drops John.
Hey!
Why don't you run off with the rest of your companions?
He looks very panicked, and he attempts to do so. Tristero, as he runs away, you can take an attack of opportunity if you would like. You definitely hit. Go ahead and roll your damage. And 6. As he runs away, you cut the back of his knee, and he starts hobbling away from you. He's running much slower now, but he's still running away.
I guess I'll draw the crossbow bolt, or draw the crossbow out, and see if I can't finish him off with a nice shot in the back.
Okay. You're the only one either conscious or not running, so go ahead and take your attack. Oh, actually, no, because then Johnboi. Johnboi, your paralysis goes away, and you now have functionality.
Oh, thank God. Johnboi is ready for some action. He stands up and is going to take a look at the guy who's standing over Mia.
Mm-hmm.
You should have let us go, but you just had to be all fancy pants, didn't you? Well, guess what? I have a story for you. It starts with, "You're on fire."
All right, Johnboi. I need you to roll a 1d100. Oh.
Oh shit.
That's not a high number.
Yep. All right. So, Johnboi, you hit him with that firebolt and incinerate.
Well, I guess the story really did start with "You're on fire."
It also ended with "You're on fire." So that is going to drop us out of the turn order because everybody else is asleep. And unless you wake them up, then they won't attack.
No, my intention is to look to Tristerio and say, "Here's my question. Do we leave these bandits to rob somebody else, or do we teach them a lesson by killing them?"
I vote for killing. Killing sounds good.
Seems like the right thing to do, right?
Isn't Johnboi on fire?
Stab him.
Johnboi's not on fire.
Oh, I thought Johnboi lit himself up. Sorry.
No.
No.
I'm going to take out my dagger, and I'm going to use sneak attack on the guy directly next to me.
Oh, okay.
Presumably I hit.
Why doesn't yours roll with normal and advantage on?
Yep.
I just turned that off.
And you also critically hit because the person is incapacitated.
Hard to not get stabbed when you're asleep.
You could ignore the second sneak attack, of course, but otherwise that should be what?
Yeah, you, how do you want to kill this guy?
Johnboy's going to take his dagger and he is going to stab him directly in the jugular, and do a nice big long line up to the bottom of the chin.
Tristero and Johnboi, he makes a lot of very guttural, awful, terrible sounds as he expires.
I am going to attempt to finish that guy off with my dagger.
Okay.
It's just a murder
So,
party.
okay. So you critically hit, as long as you hit, because they're... Well, this guy is really fucking jammed up, so, like, he's not doing anything twice over. So you roll your damage, and then you double it.
So 14.
Okay. Tristero, you try to stab this guy in the heart, and you apparently miss. He's still incapacitated on the ground, and he now has a bleeding, sucking chest wound. But not dead.
Well, I'll just continue hacking at him until he is dead.
Johnboi, go ahead and make your attack.
Here, I'm going to walk over to. This time, I'm going to actually use my rapier. And Johnboi will be taking the rapier and...
I just want to make a note. This is team not nice people.
Yeah, I just turned around to Aaron, who's sitting behind me, and I was just like, well, that got dark.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, he's super dead.
Yeah, I stab him directly in the junk.
Why? Is this some kind of catharsis for you?
He insulted my people.
Fair enough.
He also tried to pick up your paralyzed body. That's kind of rude.
Precisely.
Assault.
He was asleep. He didn't feel it.
Tristero, he's going to attempt to defend himself. He misses you in a terrible attempt to swing with his short sword at you. It is your turn now. You hit. Go ahead and roll your damage and double it.
10.
And how do you want it to look? Because you murder this guy.
Well, since I missed the heart the first time, this time I slice his chest open and pull out his heart and say, "And they always said bandits have no hearts," and fling it over my shoulder.
Okay, then.
Oh, shit.
I just imagine Johnboi diving and eating it.
I was going to say, that's actually exactly the plan here. I'm going to put it in my bag and save it for later, though.
Okay, so add it to your inventory. 1 heart.
Shit you didn't think you'd ever say in D&D.
Yeah.
Add a heart to your
Well,
inventory.
it's always something new. All right, so now we're going to go back to the wonderful Vormanon.
You know, the characters who weren't just murdering sleeping people.
Yeah, that got real dark.
But effective.
Man, it's so good to be a nice and honorable character, guys. Woo, look at this stuff.
It's gonna be really funny when this party finally comes.
That'll be an interesting dynamic right there.
So you, Envarl, Marion, and Beriss, up toward the front, you hear Brandty picking up, moving around papers, and you hear the cracks and clangs of different machinations.
Brandty, is everything okay?
Absolutely. Look at all this. You guys gotta come in here.
Beerus narrows his eyes suspiciously and goes to the edge of the door.
I walk in.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are free to move about. There's a lot of books on the shelves off to the side.
Oh, where'd Marion go?
In
I
these
think I'm
areas
under
over here.
Beerus and can't select myself anymore.
What?
There, I moved you back.
Do I need to do a perception check to see that there are books?
Yes, you can.
Oh, sweet Jesus!
Nice.
Fuck yes, I'm never leaving.
Kurt,
Yes.
you remember that thing I used to do with every campaign?
Where you
Oh
hide,
yes.
where you hide a super powerful magic item in a random location, and hope the characters don't find it.
And it mostly kills us in the attempt to get it.
Kinda.
I got a
All
talking
right.
sonic sword.
Marion, you see off to the right a small, thin, gold leaf book tucked in between two larger novels. Well, two larger tomes, I should say.
I'm gonna go look at it.
And Varl, you start hearing the sounds of battle.
Where's that coming from? I'll do perception to try to figure it out.
Okay. Marion, you take the book off the shelf, and it's like a small, thin book. And what languages do you speak? Well, what languages can you read? I know you're an educated half-orc, so
Yeah,
try not to be
I'm
racist.
checking. I can read Common, Gnomish. So I know Common, Gnomish, and Orc, and I can argue from backstory I could recognize more, but I'm not fluent.
Okay.
I'm just wandering around trying to find that.
You are unfamiliar with the writing inside and on top of the book. And Varl, you can't quite figure out where the sound is coming from, but it's closer to Brandty than it is from where you were standing before.
Hey, does anyone know what this says? And I turn and face the party with the book in my hand. So I'm just like, I'm showing everybody the book.
Beerus kind of looks down. I cannot read.
I am so deeply, deeply sorry. That is the saddest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
I keep myself on guard while I approach about where Brandty is.
You see Brandty sifting and moving through different items and objects, and you see her looking at one of the multicolored glowing tubes, and it's glowing a very bright blue. As you get closer to Brandty, the sounds start getting louder.
I turn to Brandty. Do you hear that?
Should I do a perception check?
Oh, you can if you want. Nope.
Hear what?
Sounds like
You're a
battle.
bit distracted right
Okay.
Beerus is getting perception, but in the opposite direction, he's watching the hallway.
now. What's that, Beerus?
Beerus is going to do a perception, but he's watching the hallway. He doesn't want us to get snuck up on, since this room doesn't seem to have any other rooms.
Smart. Go ahead and roll it. Okay. And Varl, as you're looking around, you see Marion holding up a book. You notice the cover is written in Celestial.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can read that. I was distracted. I'll head over to him. If you will hand me the book.
I give him a closer look, but I'm not giving it up just yet.
I suppose you could hold it out and I can read the cover then.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Alright, well, what does it say?
The cover seems to be somebody's name. It's not a name you're familiar with.
Seems to be a name on this book. Perhaps a journal? You said it was
Marion,
thin,
are you
right?
flipping through the pages?
I'll just, for now, I'll hand it over, but I'm not I'm staying aware. I'm not just giving the book up. I'm handing it over for easier investigation. Here, how about you take a look? You seem to be able to read it.
Yes, it is the language of my people. I'll flip through the book.
Okay. As you look through the book, you realize that this is a design. It's not, there's no pictures. It's word by word, measurement by measurement, the design for some great mechanism. You can tell that the person that wrote it because they didn't want people coming upon this and being able to recreate whatever is in this journal by the visual depictions. So everything is written out by a system of measurements typically used by gnomes, down to everything very, very specific and meticulously made. And you can tell that it appears to be some sort of device, a massive device created and powered by mana. You're slightly familiar with mana. It had just started coming around, and it was sort of the reason you set out to this place. If I recall your backstory correctly.
Yeah. It seems to be instructions on how to build some grand device. From how it's written, I assume a gnome wrote it. Someone was trying to keep their secrets a secret. I hand him back the book.
Brandty, go ahead and roll me an intelligence.
Beerus will be resting through this. That way I can get my key points back.
Sounds good.
Does that work?
Yep, hold on one second. I fucked up one of my windows here. Because I'm super smart.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, as you look at it, you realize that there might be a way for you to disconnect the tube of mana
Excellent.
and house it within something. You also
Okay.
see from the inside that there is a way, from the mechanisms and the way that it works, there is a way to drain the fluids in the tank.
Yes. It seems like the author of the book's name is Fnipper.
Wait,
Did you say that out loud?
what was the name?
Yeah. Fnipper? I assume
Yo,
it's a no.
Brandty. You might have
Bran-
a relative.
Brandty stops what she's doing. What? She turns
Apparently-
around and sees that you're holding something.
So the
I'm
author of this book
fine.
was named Fnipper. And I believe you're Nagel Fnipper?
She seems kind of stunned for a second. And then walks over. Can I see?
Yes, it is written in
Sure.
Celestial, however.
Can you read anything else?
It seems like a design of sorts for a grand machine that runs off mana.
You don't like them, honey. Mitchell and cherries. You don't like them
Oh yeah, I got those for you.
I suppose if I studied it more, I could figure out what it was trying to do, but it's all written in such a way as to keep the design hidden as much as possible.
Brandty seems very thoughtful. And she doesn't really know how to follow up on that right now.
Okay. Brandty sits there a little perplexed by the topic.
Are we done with your books? Are we collecting the mana yet?
Whatever this is, it's very important. And we need to bring it out with us.
Will the ball allow that?
Marion, can you keep that book safe?
I'll do my best. And I stow it away.
I do not wish to anger the magic ball. It seems to shoot lasers. Sorry, light beams.
I want to go back to that vial that was causing me to hear the war.
Sure, you mean the purple tank?
Yeah.
Yeah, as you get closer, you can hear the sounds of some sort of battle occurring. The familiar sounds of spells detonating, the shout of a battle commander.
I put my hand to it.
Go ahead and make me a knowledge religion. And Varl, you feel on the inside several evil presences.
I'm going to use my divine sense.
I thought you'd never ask.
I swear to God, we get all of a sudden a bunch of demons in this room. I'm blaming the angel.
Listen, I'm mean. I don't even think I'm that mean. But I am taking notes.
No.
Note to self: do not give Rob campaign ideas.
And Varl, with your divine sense, you sense. You don't sense the presence of any celestial fiend or undeads. But you can tell that there is something on the inside that is sort of like a consecration or desecration. You can't tell which, but it's very similar, and it gives you the same feeling. Like something has been sealed.
Where are we exactly?
In retrospect to...
I have no idea where we are, like...
Oh, okay.
So I'm asking the party where we actually are, because I'm like... I was inside a robot. I don't know.
Okay.
We are in a temple made by gnomes.
Excellent child interjection.
Adorable. Go on.
I do not have a map.
And it's a library and a school for magic users?
Of course it is. I look back at them all. This place houses evil. I don't know what their intent is, but they've sealed it within this place.
Brandty pulls out Vorm. Vorm, do you know what this room was for?
Brandty, as you open the circular key that is Vorm, you notice that there are no lights that turn on within, like before.
Did you break
Well,
it?
that's funny. Vorm's not responding anymore.
Should we shake it or hit it to make it work better?
No, I don't think that's how it works.
Magic is so confusing to me.
Is there a check that she could do on this? Just like a... Should you just do another investigation to see if there's something wrong?
Sure, you can try. It just seems to either be out of power or not functioning. You're not quite sure why.
Well, that's disappointing.
Is the mana its battery? Could we refuel it using the mana?
And Varl, what are you doing in this period of time?
I'm like clutching my lance, like white-fisted, trying to resist the urge to blow this whole place up with fire.
Okay. Go ahead and make me another perception check, would you?
Oh boy.
Everybody. Marion, I'm gonna have to roll for Marion. His computer crashed. He just told me from behind me.
Oh, dang.
Yay.
Technology, our one weakness.
It is literally my weakness.
Beriss, as you're sitting there bored, the purple swirling colors sort of, the opaqueness goes away slightly, and you can see on the inside what you think is some sort of sword.
Ooh.
Inside the tank?
That's correct.
Someone guard the door. I think I see something.
What's the matter?
Marion will do that for you.
There is a sword in the tank. Can we drain it?
I think we can.
If it is the evil that the winged one wants to destroy, then we can dispose of the liquid. But to my understanding, this is what you call mana, and we were tasked to bring it to Jural. So, this might be the proverbial 2 stone, 1 bird?
Why would you stone a bird?
I do not know. I heard human use...
Also, just like throwing rocks at stuff is a lot of fun.
See, it's human. It's human word. No,
I don't trust you.
While they're talking about that, Brandty goes to get a closer look at this vat.
Okay. Brandty, on closer inspection, yeah, there certainly is some object in there, and it kind of looks like a sword-ish. It's hard to tell.
Do we have container to hold?
How
Brandty,
large is this?
is it mana?
The tank is approximately 6 to 7 feet long and 4 to 5 feet wide. And it's about, probably about a foot high.
So it's a big ass tank.
It's a big ass tank with tubes all coming out of it, yeah.
Are there any empty containers or anything we could possibly displace the liquid into?
Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like there's any other containing devices in the area.
No, like, pipes or anything leading from it or to it?
The pipes seem to come down from the ceiling or the upper floor.
Oh, thank God.
Perhaps we should just smash it.
Yeah, that's what I was doing my
I don't
Arcana
think that's a
check
good
for.
idea.
But can I hit it?
My Arcana check was to see if Beriss knows if coming in contact with mana is bad.
Well, I mean, you don't like magic to begin with, and it's liquid magic.
I'm gonna see if this is a good idea. And roll.
I am intrigued by the weapon, but the mana seems to be an issue. We do need to contain it to bring it with us. My patience runs thin. Brandty, do you have any vials? Glass. Oh God, I can't hear anybody for some reason. Great, wonderful. One moment.
hitting the tank. Go ahead and roll your...
Oh boy.
I'm back. I lost audio for a minute.
Yep, no problem.
I am not raging, so that's just 12.
Okay.
Sorry.
And with that, the
Can I say one thing since I wasn't
Marion
able to before?
smashes the front of the tank.
As Beriss sees him pull back the warhammer, Beriss starts turns around and starts fucking booking it on 4 legs like a dog running away.
Okay. Go ahead and run.
Oh dear.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing with his rolls.
I don't like it.
Everybody, make me a
No.
Dex save?
wisdom save.
Fuck.
Okay. I am actually trained in that one.
I'm betting I don't have it.
Nat 1, motherfucker.
Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
There's no.
Well, guys, it was great playing our Lizard Man with you.
All right. Marion,
Alright.
you smash the front of the tank, and the purple liquid spills out into the floor. Unfortunately, as you hit it with your mighty warhammer, some of the sparks that connect create a detonation.
Oh no.
There's a wisdom save.
But the detonation is of some purple smoke. The smoke billows throughout the entire room very rapidly, and everybody but Invarl is paralyzed and suffering from massive hallucinations.
Oh, I'm high as balls.
God.
Time to go on a journey together.
I'm fucking
And
laying there
Varl.
licking the floor. Just,
And Varl, they smash the front of the container. The purple liquid spills out, and it's then that you realize that all of those feelings were being stifled by the liquid, and that the weapon on the inside is what was causing it. You're suddenly awash with a great amount of sounds of battle, cries, magic spells going off. But in all of that, you hear one person. In each one of these scenarios of battle that pass through your head, you continually, at the last minute, hear that person taking a stand for something, for someone. Always one voice in the cacophony of battle.
I'll walk up to the blade.
Ooh.
May Azaria or Aurelia guide my hand, and I'll grasp it.
The sounds intensify, and as you touch it, you can feel 3 separate curses seeping into your body.
Oh boy.
Should we be reading the descriptions for audience?
Oh, I suppose I could. Probably a good call.
fair enough.
The thrice cursed blade. A purely evil aura emanates from this unusual weapon. Upon the blade, in the reflection of the moonlight, you can see stars of distant worlds' night skies. When held in your hand, you can hear the last moments of a man fighting against 3 powerful wizards.
Cool.
And Varl, those 3 curses seem to be connected with the sword. And as long as you hold that sword, the 3 curses work on you. You can feel its magic pulsate through you even now as you speak. Well, even now as I speak.
Oh boy. I love being cursed.
And then you notice that the mana from the tube coming from the ceiling is seeping out and spilling.
No.
What do you...
Hey guys, this floor tastes like schnozberries.
The schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
Yeah, Marion thinks he's 8 years old and is reading a book right now.
I'll put out my shield to form like a bowl so it pours into the shield. Because they said they want to collect the mana. So I'll do that for them.
Oh dear.
Does your shield contain your holy symbol?
It does not.
It's just a normal shield?
Yeah. My holy symbol is my Boros insignia.
Okay. I'm going to switch back to Coughlin. And I need you to roll me 3 1d100s.
Oh, for the love of God. Well, you're cursed, and now your shield's gonna explode.
And then they died.
Whoop. Sorry, when Marion sees something that's glass, he hits it.
Okay. And Varl, you start filling up the shield, and nothing seems to happen. And it keeps filling and filling, and then just as the shield begins to fill to the brim, and the tube empties, and suddenly the entire shield, the edge that you're holding, turns ice cold.
No.
You take 2d6 frost damage.
Right, but what does the purple elephant in the room feel about this?
The purple elephant in the room is telling you to do your taxes.
Is my mom lecturing me angrily or with love?
There are 3 spiders on the head of Marion, all in Congress, like British Parliament.
Oh my god.
And there is exactly 12 spaghetti monsters in the room.
Oh dear God.
And with that, we go back to Coughlin.
Guys, this is the best idea we've ever had.
See, only good things happen when I break stuff.
I wanted the cool sword, though.
What? No.
I don't even know what the curses do yet, so you might want to take that back.
Hey,
Fair
I'm
enough.
seeing my mom for the first time in like 8 years. I just think I'm, 8.5 years old and hiding in an attic.
Tristero and Johnboi, you're in the middle of the street. You've just murdered some people. What do you do as their blood mixes with the sand?
Do they have anything valuable?
Yeah, I start rifling through the clothing of the guys whose heart I just cut out.
Yep.
Sure. Yes, they do, in fact. Go ahead and roll me an investigation, both of you. Person that rolls higher gets better stuff. Not that it's a contest or anything, but it's totally a contest.
Yeah.
Tristero, you find 16 gold pieces, 4 silver pieces, and 6 copper pieces. You also find a note. It is a letter written by Tenris, and it gives the location of an underground. It seems to be some sort of as far as the reference is considered, seems to be some sort of like bunker or safe house. And the letter reads, to head there after the job is done. Johnboi, you find 6 copper pieces. Are we not doing chat right now? What's going on?
I can hear you. Can anyone
I
else?
can hear you.
I can
Yep, I
hear.
hear you.
I can
Oh,
hear
okay. What are you guys doing?
I'm typing silly things into the chat because I'm not in this scene.
So you were describing the note to Headmere when the job is done, and then you left off.
Oh, okay. To head there when the job is done and help with the digging.
And where on the city is, would I be able to find this place?
Yeah, actually, the directions don't seem that difficult. It's in the northeastern corner of Coughlin. In a residential house, a very big residential house. It seems to be some sort of, from what you know, it's kind of part of the estate district. From your limited knowledge of the area.
Okay, and do I notice that Johnboi found next to nothing on the guy he rifled?
Found a very nice pebble.
That's correct.
A pebble? That's all that guy
It's
was
shaped
carrying?
like a rock.
Here,
I got a rock.
here, take this. I give Johnboi 8 gold pieces. You earned this as much as I did.
Oh, wait, thank you. Did you find anything else of use?
Just a few smaller coins and a note.
A note? What does the note say?
It instructs the bearer to head to some sort of a safe house that's underground, and it says when the job is done, come to the safe house and help with the digging. And it gives some rough directions to where the safe house is.
May I see? I might know a quicker way.
Here, see for yourself. Apparently, the note was authored by one Tenris, whoever that may be.
Do I recognize the name?
Go ahead and make me a... No. Doesn't seem familiar. Jesus, every time we come over to this side, it's just all single digits.
I'm just wondering why Johnboi keeps rolling single digits on all the intelligence checks.
Well,
John
I mean,
Boy's
it's
very stupid.
it's pretty funny as far as like the
Really
character's
not,
concerned.
actually. Intelligence is pretty high. I'm just consistently rolling balls.
John Boy has high intelligence, but is a moron. I know a lot of people like that.
Yep.
Johnboi's smarter than Beriss.
Also, he has a 2. That's not that high.
Anyway, Johnboi, you immediately realize Oh! Okay.
Background abilities. Holy shit, someone used one.
I know,
Ah.
right? I try to use mine all the time, and everybody's just like, we don't want to listen to the law. All right. So, Johnboi, you know a quicker way of getting there. It'd probably take you about half the time.
Follow me. I have a very efficient way to get there. Don't dally.
Might I suggest we first go to the armory, as originally intended?
Well, fine, I suppose if we must.
Okay. So you all head to the armory. And you walk into the armory, and the familiar Rika steps out from behind the counter. Oh, darlings, it's you again. I'm so happy to see you. Except for that one. I thought I told you to leave.
Sorry about the comment about the smell. It really wasn't meant to be personal.
Yes, on behalf of my companion, I apologize as well. I think in his own clumsy and oafish way, he was complimenting the wonderful fragrance you were wearing the last time we were in your shop.
Yes, I remember very well him complimenting me.
My friend here taught me about the word tact. I like it.
Tristero, can you go ahead and roll me a... Jesus. My mind is 100 different places. Go ahead and roll me a... Go ahead and roll me a... I don't know why I couldn't think of that word. Being knucklehead.
You're cutting out a little bit.
Tristero, you can tell that although you used pretty good language and you were trying to be as charming as possible, it didn't really help her demeanor. She's sort of tapping her foot and seems like she wants to get this business on with and done with.
Really, all we wanted was a quick word. You remember, of course, the note we brought you, and I won't inquire as to its contents, as it's none of my business. But I do believe I have some information you may be interested in pertaining to that note.
Well, go on.
Well, not to be rude, I'm an off-worlder, but one thing that I've quickly learned is that in the city of Coughlin, everything has its price. Even something as simple as information. Would it be forward of me to ask for compensation?
Well,
Provide-
a little, considering I don't even know what you're talking about.
Understandable, but we're on the same page. At any rate, you probably haven't heard, but a rather unpleasant fate befell Joffrey. He was murdered in his own shop.
Murdered?
Yes. He was stabbed to death.
Oh. I think I need to sit down.
Please. Please.
She walks behind the desk and sits down. He just started that shop. He was but a young boy.
We arrived there probably minutes, maybe even seconds after he was murdered. And we caught a glimpse of his killer as he fled the shop. And this is a man that I've seen before, and I believe has some association with a rabble-rousing elf who goes by the name of the Changing One.
It's true. He seems to also, this man that he was talking of, tried to take my father. He made him into a gem.
Well, what was this person? What did this person look like?
He had skin.
Oh, pardon my companion. I do the best job I can to describe the man I saw from memory. He was a human. Average height, average build. Very hard to make out his face. He was dressed in a cloak with the hood up. Carried a short sword. He appeared to be left-handed.
That sounds like Tenris. He's been walking around that Changing One. Oh,
Tenris.
boy.
Tenris, you say? That is a name that I've heard several times. Can you tell me anything about this Tenris, other than he associates with the Changing One?
Yes, I think it's partially mutual benefit, really. You see, Tenris, he... Forgive me, I'm a little distraught. But Tenris was... He was a good boy. I remember him when he was younger. The city streets of Coughlin sort of, changes people. And over time, Tenris rose through the ranks of a certain organization.
And is this Tenris powerful?
Well, powerful in what regard, dear?
Is he personally powerful? Is he a master swordsman? An excellent street fighter?
Tenris is, he's known very well for his swordsmanship, but more than anything, he's advantageous. He's very good at the streets.
I see. I look over at Johnboi. I do believe that mention was made just now of a gem.
I like making money. That could work.
Is there anything else, my dear?
Oh, yeah, one thing. Do you sell mouse food?
No.
No?
Well, I suppose there'd be some table scraps across the street.
Oh, that'll work. I open up my pocket and I pull out my pet mouse. I haven't fed him in a couple of days, and he looks a little bit famished. I wanted to make sure he doesn't go off south on me.
Oh, poor little thing. Here. I'll give you some scraps from my food if you promise not to eat him.
That'll work.
She hands you like half a loaf of not like half a loaf, but half like the end of a loaf of bread.
I will break it apart and put several pieces into different pockets on myself, and the other biggest chunk I'll give to the mouse.
Okay. So with that, are you doing anything else?
One quick thing I also wanted to mention. Just as an apology, your smell is quite nice today. You see, I have learned tact. And I'll leave.
Yes, my friend is a quick learner. At any rate, that is the information that I came to give you. I don't know if it's useful to you or not, depending upon what your connection with Joffrey is, or should I say was. You yourself may be in danger. I don't know.
She puts a hand into her in her dress and pulls out a handkerchief, and you can see now that she's actively tearing up. And she sort of waves you away, as you can tell she's having trouble with some sort of lump in her throat. She's trying hard not to break down.
I just stand by, maintaining a respectful silence until she composes herself.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing me that information.
You're welcome.
Here. She hands you the small package that that you originally delivered to her. This was this is what he wanted me to have. I don't want to be reminded of him anymore.
What is it?
A trinket.
I'll open the package and see what the contents are.
So you open the blue box and you notice on the inside a small silver necklace. And you notice that it has some sort of symbol on it. Like the medallion of the necklace is a circular medallion with a symbol you've never seen before. It seems to have 4 arrows pointing in corner directions, like sort of like northeast, southeast, that type of thing.
Like a cross?
Yeah, it's sort
Like
of
an
like,
X?
but turned on its side, sort of. And all of the sides are equal in length. And they all have an arrowhead. Like they're all the point of an arrow. So it's 4 arrows pointing in kitty corner directions. And you notice that it is ever so slightly floating off the bottom of the package. The bottom of the package, the container.
I'll put it back in the box, close it up. Thank you. This is more than ample conversation. Again, thank you. I'll be on my way now.
She nods.
And I will leave the shop and join Johnboi out on the street.
I will be
Okay.
hiding inside of a basket.
Tristero, you make a perception check. Johnboi is nowhere to be seen.
I call out, Johnboi! Johnboi, where are you?
Yeah, hello.
Johnboi pops up from some wicker basket alongside of a local market. The local marketeer looks just as surprised as you do.
What in the name of all that is unholy are you doing in that basket?
Well, I had to feed my mouse, and I don't like him getting sunburned.
Fine. I propose that for now we return to the inn.
That seems reasonable.
So what are y'all doing?
Sounds like we're returning to the inn.
Okay. So you all return to the Blade Barrel Inn. Nothing unusual. Just the normal tavern as before. The sun starts going down, however.
Johnboi, do you have any friends within the city?
What's a friend?
An associate, a companion.
I have my mouse.
I see. It's just that I'm not really wild about going to the location detailed in the note. Just the two of us. I needn't point out that we were extremely lucky to escape unscathed from being jumped by the bandits.
Yeah, you fucking were.
Your point is well noted. I suppose I do have some business colleagues of sorts who had been supposedly ones who were supposed to travel with me on an adventure, but they left me behind.
And are they to be returning?
One might hope. It depends. They've gone off into the deserts. Goodness knows they'll probably be eaten by something horrible. But if they're very lucky, maybe they'll be back.
Well, I suggest that perhaps we wait and see.
That seems like a good plan.
Going anywhere near this supposed safe house.
We could scope it out and see what's going on. I am very, very sneaky.
I don't know. You heard what Miss Rika said. Tenris knows the streets very, very well.
Well, I suppose if you prefer caution, I understand that. It's better to be safe than sorry. It's a lot harder to get eaten to not die than it is to be sitting in a room.
And at some point, when I have a free moment, I am going to investigate the medallion further. And once I've ascertained as much as I can through normal means, I will cast Identify on it.
Okay. Very well. Tristero, you can go ahead and make a Knowledge Arcana check on the necklace.
You're cutting out. I did hear you say make an Arcana check.
Yep, because you said you were going to try to study it as much as you could to begin with. On that normal Knowledge Arcana, it seems to be some sort of communication device. But you can't really tell what, where, or how.
I will proceed with the Identify then.
Okay, you identify it as a necklace made to communicate with another necklace of the same type. If you put the necklace on, you can hear and communicate with the other person holding the necklace.
And I'm assuming the opposite is also true. Whoever possesses the other necklace can hear and communicate with me.
That's correct.
Well, what does it do?
Well, apparently it's a communication device somewhere within the city, one would hope, is its twin. And whoever dons this necklace is able to see, hear, and communicate with whoever possesses its twin.
Oh, that sounds lovely, albeit a little bit tricky.
Alexa, turn kitchen light on.
Well, what do you think?
Okay.
Should we try it?
What have we got to lose?
Potentially our lives.
Oh, what are those worth?
I value mine quite highly.
You just haven't been around this place long enough. Don't worry, you'll soon see that Erimos is not about valuing your life.
Indeed. But my assumption is whoever bears the other part of this necklace is probably no friend to Tenris. And with that, I will take the necklace out of the box and place it around my neck.
Okay. You place the necklace around your neck, and you hear a familiar voice.
Oi, keep digging a bit longer, alright?
Is that Tenris's voice?
It sounds a lot like him. Go ahead and make an intelligence check. It sounds exactly like Tenris.
I will quickly take that necklace off.
What did you see?
Apparently, I was very, very, very wrong. The bearer of the other necklace is in fact Tenris.
Oh, I see. Well, then we're going to die, aren't we?
Probably.
Well, I suppose it was nice knowing you. Goodbye.
Well, not so fast. Although I do think it would be wise to perhaps choose some other lodgings for the night.
I know a very nice basket I can recommend.
Well, that sounds charming, but I was actually thinking along the lines of, an inn, a structure with 4 walls, a ceiling.
I suppose, if you must have those things, but I'd rather prefer a basket within that. Maybe a small hole in the wall. Something like that would be very lovely.
Well, perhaps you can inquire of the innkeeper. But being as you know this city much better than I do, what would you recommend for a passable inn?
Well, in fairness, I've never really slept in an inn other than the one that I have worked my way into, but...
Well, I suppose then we might want to wander around until we find something. I don't think staying here tonight will be particularly safe. I don't know if Tenris now knows our location or not.
Okay, so you all search for an inn.
Yeah.
Okay. You find one.
Do I know anything about the inn that we're going to? Or have I at least heard any information about it?
You know that inns are kind of, they're pretty common for the most part, as this is also a mercantile trade community.
Right.
So a lot of merchants have to come and stay. So there's numerous different affiliations between all the different inns. The safest affiliation that you know of, being from the area, there's a neutral sort of inn known as the Crystal Chalice.
Very good. We shall go there.
All right.
Before we arrive, though, I'm going to take a moment and make a suggestion to Tristerio.
Just a thought, but I do have something that might be useful to help us get in there and not be eaten alive. If we are, in fact, maybe seen by the wrong people. Crap.
I just imagine Johnboi with clown makeup on now.
Johnboi dons a very elaborate boldero and a small mustache.
God damn it.
Your turn.
I just want you to know that my Mexican heritage is triggered right now, and I'm offended.
But where did Johnboi go?
God damn it.
Fedora with a mustache?
Johnboi walks up to you, Tristero, and applies what can only be described as a Santa beard and a nightcap.
There, now nobody will know who we are. This way is sure foolproof.
Are you serious?
Of course.
Tell me you're joking, please.
I never joke. Jokes are for silly things, and I am not a silly thing. I am a...
Well, I can tell you that these so-called disguises of yours will probably call attention to ourselves. So I suggest that we just go as our normal selves to the crystal chalice.
Fine, I suppose if that's what you think. But I'm keeping my mustache.
Racist.
I just sigh heavily and pull off the nightcap and beard.
Okay.
Follow.
You all walk into the Crystal Chalice. It seems to be a little more opulent than you're used to, Tristero. This seems to be the go-to place for the high roller mercantiles of the area. But they do have more affordable rooms at 5 gold pieces a night, which is a lot, but that's probably their most affordable room.
Do the nicer rooms come with increased security, like locks and doors and things like that?
Yeah.
How much more are the more expensive rooms?
Like 30 to 35 gold.
Tristerio, I suggest we split the cost of a more pricey room. It's probably a bit more than we need, but having a lock on the door is probably a wise idea. What do you say?
For once, I agree. The unfortunate fact of the matter is all the coin in the world I possess is courtesy of Joffrey and courtesy of some non-deceased bandits. Not nearly enough to cover 30 gold pieces a night.
Very well. I will, out of the kindness of my heart, pay for the room tonight. But you'll have to get me a delicious dinner at some point soon.
That sounds more than fair.
Okay, so you guys go ahead and mark off that amount of money off your character sheets, and you stay a night in the Crystal Chalice Inn. And we go back to Vormadon. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take a bio break really quick. We'll come back and finish off with a little housekeeping.
All right. As I sit here licking the floor. Got it.
Yeah, Marion's been talking to himself constantly.
It was very fitting for the story. Everybody's just tripping balls in a room.
This isn't how they normally act.
Okay, so we'll come back in, let's say, 5 to 10 minutes.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be right back. Cue elevator music. audio back and visual back, and we are back from our break.
Well, the party left in Vormenon.
I am still hallucinating, I assume.
And
I roll-
Varl,
I
you
roll-
are
I think
standing there with the shield. The shield has burnt you with cold, basically. So you set it down on the ground, and it's no longer burning you.
Perfect.
Um,
I'm going to
Go ahead.
I'm going to drag everyone out of the room since they're hallucinating.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw a fit like a baby. I go.
After some struggling and some
flailing,
difficulty,
I go.
some
child
difficulty,
dead weight.
you eventually get everybody out of the room. And Varl, as soon as Brandty crosses the threshold to the room, you notice the sphere that she had. You notice she put it in a side pocket for easy access. It suddenly starts to glow again. Well, you see the sphere that she took out, and now it's glowing. You never saw it glow before. I don't think she talked to Vorm while you guys were conversing.
They mentioned a form, but I still don't know who or what it is.
Okay.
So I'm gonna leave the shield out there with them.
Okay.
I'll go back into the room, and I'm gonna use a combination of produce flame and control flame to burn the room to the ground.
No!
Okay.
They're both cantrips, so.
Does Brandty see this happen?
No.
Oh my-
No, you don't.
No.
Cool. Go ahead and mark off one of each of those.
They're both cantrips.
Okay. Yep. Then you successfully burn all the research notes and trinkets and other
no.
things. You guys can go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw against your predicament. Beriss, you come to. You're no longer hallucinating.
That was the strangest thing I've ever seen.
Beriss, you take a look around, and there is a round shield full of mana.
And I backed the fuck away from it.
I collected the mana you guys were seeking within my shield. I will require the shield back.
We will need to find a way to store it properly. I do believe in Marion's haste, he has destroyed the proper container.
Yes, Mother, I'm sorry I broke the dishes.
One
I didn't mean to.
I walk over and I lightly slap Marion. Wake up, you oaf!
Are we
okay.
all back?
Slap him, and doesn't seem to do it.
Bah! Weak-willed man. Human.
And Varl, are you still carrying the sword?
Yeah. Once I learned that it was cursed, I kept the sword on me.
Okay.
I'm not like, I don't like have it out. I have it like put away. Does it have like a sheath or anything?
It does not have a sheath.
Then, yeah, I am carrying it then. Not like threateningly though.
Okay.
I'd like to imagine Brandty is probably playing with the light that's emanating from the smoldering remains of this room. That's like, it's like reflecting off of some trinkets or like a glass tube, and she's just not realizing what's actually happening and just having the greatest time with the light.
I do believe we might have to wait for them to come to.
Yes. Unfortunately, I used all of my healing on the smaller one. So I have no more spells that can awaken them.
You guys can go ahead and make me another wisdom saving throw. Are you guys willing to wait until they come to? Let's do that.
Woo!
Yeah, I have to, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm fine with waiting.
Okay. After a while, they come back to.
Brandty sees the flames.
That's correct. Yes, you do.
First, she is shocked, and then distraught. What did you do?
The box!
I
No!
believe when Marion struck the tube, it caused an explosion. Listen,
There was gas, not flame.
we don't
and
know
then-
that, and we didn't see anything past when you hit the thing.
I thought there was like I thought we'd have to have inhaled the gas to have it affect us.
Well, all of you guys were very. You guys were hallucinating pretty bad. Who knows what you saw?
Yes, the once the tube was struck, it released a gas that incapacitated you all, made you say and do weird things. I got you out of the room, and then used my cleansing fires to destroy everything within.
When you say that, Brandty gets a look on her face that I don't think anyone has ever seen on her before. It is like hatred. She doesn't know what to do with these feelings.
I'm sorry, are you upset?
Yeah. What? Why? Why did you think to do that? There were so many notes in there. There was countless things that could have been useful to us, and you burnt it?
Yes. Countless things that produced that evil smoke and this accursed blade. I stopped the evil before it could perpetuate.
Those notes could have been useful. Marion, do you still have the book?
I do. I'm carrying it.
Okay, good.
Whoever created this place was doing unholy things here. I had to protect those from outside.
For all we know, that room was keeping this place safe.
Now, before we continue, I would like to make it known that this argument helps no one. What is done is done. The room is burned, and we cannot restore it. Your anger is justified, but we must continue. To stagnate is our death.
Brandty takes a deep breath and seems to calm down a little bit. I suppose you're right. There's nothing we can do about it now.
I did manage to collect your mana.
Can these water skins store it? I have 9 full ones and an empty one.
I do not know the proper way to store mana. I have never encountered it. Magic is not
Only
my-
one way to find out.
I hand Brandty a water skin. The empty one.
Brandty dunks it in the maha.
Okay.
We really gotta stop fucking with magic, guys.
That's what this mission was.
I'm like 90% magic, so
Erimos, World of Sands. Don't fuck with magic.
Brandty, are you wearing any magical items?
I am not wearing anything on my body that is magic.
Okay. You fill up the water skin. From what you can tell, with your knowledge of working or reading the notes from before fresh in your mind, you can tell that this will work probably temporarily, but very temporarily. You need to be using some sort of crystal or some sort of glass to contain this.
Okay. She's got a couple of test tubes. Or like vials in her bag, so she'll try that.
Sure. Yep. You can fill those up. No problem.
We're going to need to find some more containers. These skins will work, but only for a short time.
I also noticed that
Vorn
your
hollow?
artifact started glowing again. I went to the ball.
She is still very salty at you, but she glances down. Oh, absolutely.
You glance down, and there is a blue glowing light, like before, from Vorm.
Ask him if there's a storage room with containers.
Okay.
Seems to like you, Brandty.
Vorm, are you there? Great.
Yes.
Vorm, is there a supply room where we could find containers? Preferably glass or crystal?
There are no crystal containers within Vormenon. There are no glass containers within Vormenon. Wait. Scanning. It appears there is.
Magic ball. Tell me where the glass is.
Vorm, where are they?
Who is this new intruder?
Not an intruder. They are with us. They are friendly. This is Tristero and Anvarl.
Tristero's not there.
Oh, sorry, I misread that.
Teleports in.
Yeah, whoa, what the heck?
Ta-da!
Dang.
GM magic.
And Varl. Interesting.
And what are you? Some form of... Is it spellcraft?
I am the Vormenon security unit. I was put in place to protect this facility.
It's a
Under
magic
whose
combo.
orders?
I'm sorry. You do not have the necessary classification in order to ask that question.
The magic ball only likes brandy.
I see.
Incorrect. I like no one.
It answers me when I don't want it to.
That's how the Is It spellcraft works. It never works when you want it to work. And when you do want it to work, it explodes.
What is this? Is it? He looks
Not
seriously frustrated.
Good people.
You say words that have meaning, but mean nothing.
It's okay. You'll be able to comprehend soon.
Rumbles and sits down.
I give it another 100 years. Evolution will take its course.
Oh shit. Vorm?
I seem generally concerned for him.
Yes.
Vorm, we were just in a room and you became inactive. Why did that happen?
I do not understand the question. I am active within the security parameters of the Vormenon security facility.
Maybe.
Which means that room wasn't originally part of the Vormodon area.
Or maybe whoever was experimenting there did not want to be monitored.
Possibly. Scientists tend to like to keep secrets. If it's the same one that wrote that book, they're being especially secretive already in Celestial. Perhaps they didn't even want the people that run this place knowing what they were doing. That grand machine is probably their life's work.
Beriss looks suspiciously at the orb. The orb likes many secrets. Is the orb also a scientist?
Perhaps.
No, I don't think Vorm is a scientist.
He leans over to Brandty. What is a scientist?
Aww.
I live in the fucking desert!
Don't worry about it. It's okay.
They use magic to craft dangerous things.
That just sounds like danger
Useful
on danger.
things. Helpful things.
I'd say it's about 50-50.
I'd say you've been asleep for a really long time and you're a little confused.
I actually think the angel is correct.
Mm.
I do not trust the magic. So far, it has exploded us and made me eat the cardboard on the floor.
Vorm, are there records of unauthorized use of space here? Or magic?
Unauthorized use. Yes.
Can you elaborate?
There have been numerous intruders into Vormenon over the years. I have tried to stifle and stop all of them. But I have not always been successful.
You are doing a wonderful job. Except for bug people.
It said
Vorm,
there was...
what can you tell me about the Fnippers?
Fnipper. Clan. Gnome. Artificers. That is all I have on record.
All right, thanks, Vorm.
Perhaps
Brandty
the
puts it
ball
away.
can point us to where that crystal is inside this place.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Sorry. Perhaps the ball could put us in the direction of the crystal inside this place. It said it scanned and there was actually at least one somewhere.
You make a good point. Vorm, can you tell us the location of these vials? Crystal or glass?
To clarify, you did not ask for a crystal vial. You asked for crystal. There is some on the floor in front of you.
Pedantic little shit.
And you all look over and you see the giant destroyed crystal prison that Envarl was contained in.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait. If we can take bottom half and fill it like cup, would that not serve purpose?
I can repair it to a degree with mending.
That's the only option we have right now. I'd say it's worth trying.
Mr. GM, question.
Yes, sir.
What's bigger, the thing that was in front of us, or the tube that this was originally in the other room?
I'm sorry. Can you say I misunderstood the question.
The creature tube that we found Envario in, or the tube that the mana was originally in? Which one is larger?
The container that had Envaril in it.
Okay.
Even with the bottom half. But there was more fluid than was actually contained within the container. It filled the entire bowl of the shield. So you're talking about a substantial amount of fluid.
Yeah. Because what I'm thinking is, if Envario can use mending, why not just mend the original container that the mana was in, and then we just carry that, instead of trying to huff this giant spider creature's fucking half a bowl.
Perfectly valid point.
I completely forgot mending was even a fucking thing.
It is. I have it.
When you say mending out loud, he's like, Beriss just kind of looks at you like, what the fuck are you talking about? He doesn't do magic.
I can use my magic to restore something to what it was before it was broken or torn.
I like where this is going.
It's like having someone that repairs something, only much faster.
I understand concept. I just did not know there was magic that could do that.
Yes, magic can do anything.
That's terrifying.
Yes.
Isn't it
Yes,
exciting?
It's like looking at two sides of paper.
Yes, paper.
It's what books are made of, correct?
Very good. Books are made
Let's
of
do it.
Very good. Books are made of paper.
I'm still like gauging his intelligence. Because last I saw, they were unsentient lizard beings. So I'm just like, how smart are you?
Beriss is wise. Beriss is not smart.
Yeah, I don't know that. So, You wish for me to repair the container then?
Then we
Yes.
can put the mana back into its original container and bring with us.
After burning down the room, I think it would be a very helpful thing for you to do.
Of course.
The shade. The shade is real.
Okay, so yeah, you walk up to that container. It'd take you a couple tries to mend the device completely, but you can do it if you want to cast mending. If you
Oh yeah. It's
Wait a
gonna
minute,
take me a little
I'm
bit.
forgetting something that you told us originally.
which is what?
Couldn't he just use, instead of trying to use the weave, couldn't he just use some of the mana to fuel the spell?
He probably could.
God, I feel like a fucking moron this entire goddamn time.
Yeah, someone's gonna have to explain that to me though, because I don't know anything
Yeah.
about mana.
Instead, all right. So we'll say it takes like 3 casts of mending.
Cool.
So go ahead and roll me 3 1d100s.
I'm staying completely out of the goddamn room for this.
Okay.
Then they all died.
I put my hand on the remains of the container, and it glows light, and I slowly go back and forth as the pieces start to reform.
Okay. In Varl, there's suddenly a loud, deafening screech that emanates from the source of your magic. You guys can hear this out in the other room. In Varl, you suddenly can't hear anymore.
I keep working.
What?
You complete the task. The container is repaired.
Can you please just
Yay.
yell for the rest of it?
Alright, I'll return with the container.
I wish I should have taken sign language.
Now we need to get the mana into the container.
What?
We need to get the mana into the container.
I fear he has lost his power of speech.
Do you know how difficult it would be to read the lips of a fucking lizard man?
I love it.
I'll hand him the container since he's the one that's opening it.
There should be like a HDMI cord.
For the mana! I give it to him.
Beriss looks down at it, looks at the mana, and goes, "Get in." Someone pour it in.
Man, I think that's up to you, man.
AFK.
I turn to the others.
So
I don't
Marion,
think he understands how liquid works.
Marion kind of takes point and pours the remaining water skin and the shield worth of mana into the container. As he does this, I have to roll. Oh my.
Oh my what?
I don't like that.
As he pours the mana out of the water skin starts to glow with a red light and starts to move.
Ooh.
I hate magic.
Marion being Marion, he throws it to the other side of the room.
Brandty is fascinated.
Is that normal?
Brandty runs over to investigate.
Okay.
Sick.
Beerus hides around the
Brandty,
corner.
it seems to be changing into something, but you don't know what. It's sort of like a caterpillar inside a cocoon.
Aww.
I do not trust it.
Brandty tries to like poke it with debris.
It seems to make some sort of movement back in response to being poked.
Brandty puts it in her backpack. Gently.
All right.
Beerus is gonna pass the container full of mana to Marion to carry.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick my shield back up.
That feeling of
Go to
cold
bed.
doesn't seem to go
Give her
away.
microphone, honey.
Although the handle and the straps aren't
I love you, but you have to give my microphone.
hurting you,
Daddy's D&D's over.
it
Sure.
seems as if your shield has sort of taken on some type of cold energy.
This annoys me.
Yeah, fuck you.
I'm all
No, that
about
was,
to have
that was a
fire.
completely random roll. But
In any
anyway,
case, what do we do now?
Gerald wanted the mana. And I believe there was something else. He looks at the angel. It might have been you.
I see that his lips are moving, but I still don't hear anything he's saying.
I think the angel thinks I'm stupid.
Do an interpretive dance.
That will not be helpful?
Do it.
Marion walks up and uses the end of his warhammer and carves on the ground, like scratches on the ground. We
God.
go. He says, "We go?" Question mark.
Ah, yes. Let us go then.
Alright. I think
I will follow your lead.
can I do an intelligence roll to see if I remember what Gerald specifically said is here other than the mana? I knew there was something else.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right now. Bring it here and I'll help you. Get it off the
Yeah.
carpet.
Beriss, he said there's something else. You'll know it when you find it. It could be the sword. It
Lila.
could be in Varl.
Get in here with it
Not
now.
quite sure.
If we carry both of them back.
Get off the carpet.
Lila, come on.
Well, both will be coming back, won't they?
I mean, it'll work.
Rob.
Yeah.
You said there was actually a library in here too?
Yeah, so the room that you're in right now has books all over the walls.
Okay. Brandy's going to peruse.
Let's not do nails
Okay,
right
go
now.
ahead and
It's
make
too
me an
late.
investigation check.
Okay, we'll do it tomorrow, okay? Promise. Right here. Right here.
Sweet.
Jesus, kid.
Can I close it?
Good God. Also hot.
Yeah, you find a lot of notes on,
Lila can go lock it.
pretty mundane, but,
I'll give her something to do.
like different technologies, different developments, and things like that. There's one particular book of interest that's a
Laying your bed under your blanket,
um,
get nice and warm.
beginner's guide to mana.
You have this,
She
bud.
takes it.
I wish I could read.
Right?
Alright.
She's actually gonna flip through that real quick and see if there's any information on mana changing the properties of another material.
Oh, yeah, it's all over there. Mana is basically so volatile, it will do random shit if it comes in contact with any sort of living, quasi-living thing that hasn't been manufactured to contain it.
Okay.
So, out of the two options you guys chose, you chose the correct one.
Oh dear God. I just realized what would have happened if we would pour that in there.
Uh-huh.
That would've
Wait,
sucked.
sorry, say that again.
If we would have poured it into the construct, it may have restarted it and made it attack us more.
That would have been a nightmare.
Brandty would have, like, Vietnam flashbacks.
I don't want to go back in there.
Alright, so. We good to go?
Yes, I think so.
Alright, Mr. GM.
So I assume you all leave.
I'm pretty sure we're leaving.
Yep, following them.
Sounds great. All right. So you all leave the city of Vormenon, well, the underground complex of Vormenon, and head back to Coughlin. And that's where we'll end our session for today.
All right.
Yay.
The only thing I will say is for next time, I'm going to do a little bit of typing and conversation with the other side to see what they're going to do in the amount of time it takes for you guys to get to Coughlin. So that way we can jump right into a situation where the party can be together.
Fantastic.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Side note, I'm pretty sure Gerald was like, hey, get me a little bit of mana. I mean, like a vial or two. We're coming back with a fucking tank.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if you make it back.
Hopefully.
I will fucking throw Marion at the bad guys. It'll work.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching. Remember, you can see us back here every other Saturday, starting at 8 p.m. for Erimos, the World of Sands, and every Sunday for Seekers of the Lost. Stay tuned on our YouTube channel for an upcoming How to Play series where we break down different D&D characters and monsters for advanced and beginning play. And remember, not all who wander are lost.
Have a great night, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.
Good night.